What's good, YouTube land? That Word Collector here, bringing you guys a review of Transformers Generations Voyager class SkyByte. This one of my sought after toys ever since I realized I saw that SkyByte was getting an update past the BotCon toy that came out a long time ago. And as you can see, this is all I got. I got no packaging. And the only thing I'm actually missing is the missile that came with him. So, he's a shark, if that wasn't obvious enough by his name. And he's actually from the RID 2001 show, where he was one of Megatron's leading generals. He was a poet. He was pretty cowardly. He would run away. And he liked to spend most of his time in his alt mode, flying through the sky as a shark, which is really weird. But this toy is really good. As you can see just from the profile of it, there's a lot of techno-organic detail, tech detail. You got wiring, a lot of exposed underbelly of a I don't know what the correct word is, but exposed metal. It looks like he's taking a lot of battle damage. We could see on the head he's got a textured blood red eyes. It's hard to get in frame, but on his mouth you can see every single tooth is picked out. Excuse me. And he's got a lower jaw, which is articulate, but pretty. It's like I'd expect more to a shark's mouth than just one panel. There, for coloring, he does have a bit of yellow. Down here, he's got bits of gold picked out on fins and on his tail. A bit more right here. There's a visible head. Visible head syndrome. It's right there. But if I didn't tell you it was a head, you probably wouldn't really notice that it's a head. It's just a bit of a gap issue right there. It's a bit of gray for other fins. On the underbelly, there's a peg hole for a Tamashii stage, because he doesn't really, well, he flops, but he really can't stay up in a display, which is unfortunate. They didn't do anything to give us. They didn't give us anything to help display him, which is unfortunate. As a beast, he has a little bit of articulation. Obviously, he's got the mouth, and his tail goes up and down, and his it also spins, which is a gimmick that's come over from the original Beast Wars toy, which was not. Well, actually, that is accurate, because the original toy for SkyByte was a repaint of the Beast Wars Transmetal shark, Cyber Shark, that it was repainted into deep blue and yellow and white. There was no this shade of blue, which this is a really weird light shade of blue to choose from. In that aspect, I prefer the Takara Legends version, but unfortunately I can't really easily get my hands on the Takara Legends version, so I saw this at the convention I was at. If you guys saw that haul video, and I was like, oh, SkyByte. And I figured out how to transform him without actually reading the instructions. which I thought was hilarious. So this button right here activates the twisting gimmick. You can spin it for however long. It doesn't spin very long, but also this button right here would fire the missile that I don't have. And yeah, you can kind of see where stuff is. Like these are the robot mode feet. There's this right here, which is actually a hand, and the shark head becomes his chest because you have a flip down gimmick that we'll talk about in robot mode. But the transformation is a little bit complicated, so let's just get straight to it. Where do I start? He is a shell former, but he's a lot less of a shell former than his original toy form. Like a lot more, the shell becomes robot mode. So where are we gonna start? I think we're gonna start. Let's just unpeg. Let's start, I guess, at these panels right here, which fold down into basically a leg, and then you see this little peg right here has to go beyond the plastic to lock the leg into place, and then you fold this in a bit to create the shape of his leg, and you've got one leg prepared. You can do the same thing on the other side. Fold it down. It's on two pins right there, 2 hinges. Fold it in. Fold the foot down, and you've basically done his lower jaw. And then you want to take this panel on either side and fold them all the way down. And then what you want to do is you want to take this panel, fold it out because it's going to, as you can see, it's one of his arms. And then you rotate it, extend it down, and basically I'll flip out the hand in a second, but you can leave it there for now and take the other arm and bring it out to the side as well. And then you can bring the backpack up, and you can fold the panels in there on hinges, and you can you can fold it down if you want and get the arms out of the way. You can fold the panels up against the back. You want to basically bring the hips to straighten out the legs so you can at least stand. And you're going to want to take the shark head, or take the robot mode head, make sure it's out of the way. Good God, this guy's so spindly. Pull it up, and you want to collapse it up here, and then collapse it right there. And then you want to fold out his spark crystal. And then you fold down the arm and situate the arm however you want. I believe this is the correct way. And then you want to come down to the other arm. If you need to, open the panel up, flip out his hand, close the panel up. It's supposed to clip together right there, but it looks like the clips, let's see, I don't think it does. Like they don't look like they're going to clip together very well. So, and you just fold it basically so the elbow is pointing this way. And can we get him in shot? Is he stable? Is he stable? Nope. Click that right there. And there is your generation SkyByte. And the robot mode is a meh. Like, take a look at it. Like, there's not a lot to him. Like, he's very thin. And, like, you can see, like, just a bare spine. Like, there's no real... How do I put this? if you didn't know how to transform them, it's not completely obvious, like, the route you have to take to go from robot to shark. Like, sure, there's little bits of shell around, but it's not the most obvious transformation, at least going from robot to shark. So we'll take a look at the color scheme. There's a lot more yellow gets exposed. Yellow for the shoulders, yellow for his face and the panel his head's on, yellow for his thighs, the yellow that was on his lower jaw is there now. Obviously his spine is yellow. And yeah, the blue is quite broken up. It's only on like these parts of the arms and the thighs and the wings, basically. So let's take a look at his head sculpt. His head sculpt looks fairly faithful to the RID head. He's got, like, I don't know what that expression is, but he's baring his teeth at you, and he's got blood red eyes. But the unfortunate thing is, looking at the toy straight downwards, like, it looks like his head's pointing down. Like, he's staring straight at the camera. But if he were staring straight at me, he'd have to bring his head all the way up. And obviously, he's a Predacon, so you can see his spark there. It's a little bit scratched off, but oh well. Detail-wise, there's a lot of molded detail on the thighs, some on what was the lower jaw. Obviously now you can see his feet are proper. He's got molding on the bottom of his feet. And everything else we saw in robot mode shark mode besides these shoulders, which do have fold out, I guess, shark blades. That's pretty cool. As for gimmick, he's still got the spinning claw, which his toy originally did have. The original toy of this guy had it like all the way down to the ground. Like the claw was a lot longer, so this short claw is actually easier to balance. And he's got variable kibble cape wings. Rise up your flag. Oh God, I got that song stuck in my head because never mind. If you've watched Kamen Rider Gaim, you know A, the song I'm singing, and B, why I'm singing that song. So, articulation-wise, his head is on a swivel. It can go 360. Let's just put him back here. His shoulders are on universal joints. There's a joint in here for uppers and down. There's a joint in here, right here, for outwards, which has a nice range and goes straight out. You do have a swivel at the elbow, which is a faux bicep swivel. You have a less than 90-degree elbow. And I guess the unfortunate thing is he's kind of got that, like I don't remember the technical term for it, but his elbow and his hand aren't in the correct position correlating to each other. But you can get that much bend. His wrist does hinge, and his thumb is a separate piece. And you've got a little peg in his hand. He can't really hold anything in his hand, but he's SkyByte. Why do you need him to hold something? He's got his weapon right here. Articulation on the other arm's the exact same, although the elbow is actually a lot better. It's nice and smooth, and it does have an elbow swivel as well. Excuse me. Nothing at the waist due to how he transforms. He's got hips that are on a universal joint. They can go forwards that much, backwards all the way, outwards. You can do the full Van Dams. So he's quite a stretchy shark. Knee. He's got double jointed knees due to transformation, but when you to secure them, you have to lock it. You lock basically the second joint, so you can only get about 90 degrees. He does have a thigh swivel, which is nice and tight, and his foot is on a hinge, so I guess you can do I don't know, walking poses. Although I don't know, that's a really awkward way to walk. Unfortunately, I don't have any other RID toy to show him off with. Here he is next to Beast Wars Silverbolt, and he falls over. Yeah, get him situated nicely. Here he is next to Beast Wars Silverbolt in his beast mode. Let's just yeah, I don't have any generations on me right now, so we'll just try and make this quick. Let's see how fast I can transform Silverbolt. So why am I'm just trying to think of a continuity on why he picked Silverbolt. There. That's how he looks next to Beast Wars Silverbolt. Well, I guess because the original character, Cybershark, was in the Beast Wars continuity, and maybe we should have a repaint of this guy as Cybershark. Probably not, because that color scheme was ridiculously 90s. Overall, I do like... I dropped Silverbolt on his face. I do like SkyByte. I'm definitely glad I have a SkyByte now. He's not perfect. He's really thin and lanky, and he doesn't look like he's the most secure robot, but it's just for the character. SkyByte was hilarious in RID. He'd go around spouting poetry and trying to command soldiers, but with no strength and leadership at all, and he'd run away, he'd run away from every battle. This gold piece is also actually molded after a gun, because apparently he had a gun molded into his arm in his RID toy. And that's basically it for SkyByte. I'm glad I finally picked him up. And now I want to pick up Roadbuster, who was wave mates with him, because that Roadbuster was a really cool toy. But thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep your Sharky! I don't know what that means. Bye. Before I go, I actually forgot a couple things. One, these two bits of his claw hand can actually hinge outward to give you a bigger claw. I guess that's something. And because I figured somebody was gonna... I'd catch that before somebody told me in the comments. And I kind of wish the shoulders pegged in somewhere, because you can easily move them up. They're solid enough where if you're just moving the arm, you're not going to move the shoulder up. You kind of have to force it a bit, but I just wish there was a solid connection back here. Oh, and you can hinge the cape however you want. But yeah, that's about it. A couple things I wanted to touch on that I forgot. I'm really going to go now. Bye.